Here is a poll that a study that was in the Wall Street Journal this morning that really got to me because it kind of reversed what the conventional wisdom is. The conventional wisdom about voters in America has been basically that the left has won the culture war, but the right has won the economic argument. The idea is that we all know that free markets and free minds do better for people, but we all want to be, we're all fine with gay marriage and abortion, and that basically that is over and the left has won. The voter study group, which has brought together a bunch of people from different political points of view, it's not a one-sided group. A guy there named Lee Drutman recently looked beyond the simple left-right paradigm in a questionnaire asking the voters from the 2016 election to identify both how they voted and how they felt about various economic and social issues. Then he mapped the results. We have the map up here. He put the dots. Obviously, the red dots are Trump voters and the blue dots are what was her name? Hillary. That's right. I forgot. So like, I don't know why. I don't know why I forgot that. It must be because she doesn't matter anymore. It must be because she just doesn't matter anymore. I think that's what it is. And while most Hillary Clinton voters were deeply liberal on both the social and economic axis, the surprise was the Trump voters who were very conservative on social issues, but moderate on economic ones. By Mr. Drutman's count, 73% of all voters were left of center on economics. And this is what our man Henry Olsen, who is so good at predicting elections, this is what Henry Olsen has been saying, that basically we want a safety net. We want to know that we're not going to fall through the cracks. We want to know that if the factory leaves town, our children are not going to starve. And we think the government is rich enough to help us with that. Most of the remaining Trump supporters were quite moderate on economic questions. After the election, the so-called Never Trumpers, this is an article in the Journal, after the election, the so-called Never Trumpers claimed that each of their favored candidates would also have beaten Mrs. Clinton. Mr. Drutman's figures show what a pipe dream that is. A presidential candidate like Ted Cruz, who defines himself primarily through right-wing economic policies, begins with nearly 3/4 of the electorate in the other camp. Such a candidate isn't likely to go very far. Now, I don't know. That's a little unfair to Cruz because Cruz is very socially conservative, but that's my instinct, too, that Ted Cruz could never have won that election. While the great majority of voters were liberal on economic issues, a small majority were social conservatives at the top of the diagram, enough to swing the election to Mr. Trump. The crucial differences between the two parties came down to social concerns, including pride in America, immigration, and especially moral issues such as abortion and gay marriage. The social conservative awakening that helped elect Mr. Trump came when voters recognized that the liberal agenda amounted to something more than a shield to protect sexual minorities. It was also a sword to be used against social conservatives. And that's what I think, too. I don't think people really care what gay people do. I don't think they care if they get married. I don't think they care if people are, I mean, who lies awake at night worried about whether some guy he doesn't know wears a dress or not? What they're worried about is their rights to act on their conscience. Because here's the big surprise. Your conscience is actually more important than your sexual equipment. What you do, protecting your conscience, is actually more important than protecting your sex life. Look, I want you to have whatever sex life you have. I seriously could not care less what people do as long as it doesn't scare the horses and that it's done with adults and that it's consensual and people, it's just not my business, okay? Might not be what I said to you if you were my pal sitting here. I might say, you might want to live your life a different way. But if I don't know you, it's none of my business. And I don't want the law kicking down your door to get into your bedroom. But the thing is, once you start to say to me that I have to like it, I have to love you, I have to participate in your wedding, then to me, that is just way, way out of line. And I'll